Welcome to the Navigating Your Life show. I'm your host, Nat Williams. Tonight we're going to look at dieting, the stories of those who have used different methods for managing their weight, as well as tips of how we all can make healthier food choices. According to a recent National Health and Nutrition Examination survey, over 64% of U.S. adults are either overweight or obese. According to the United States Food and Drug Administration, Americans spend over an estimated $30 billion a year on all types of diet programs and products, including diet foods and drinks. As you can see from those statistics, we are facing a real challenge. I have learned that when we are dealing with a challenge, we're either part of the problem or part of the solution. Recently, I had the opportunity to visit Sacred Heart Villa in Reading, Pennsylvania, to learn more about a diet campaign that they recently started that appears to be part of the solution. Here's what happened. So we're here today at Sacred Heart Villa, and we're joined by Louisa Trombor, who is the dietary manager, and next to her is Bernice Schmale, who is the dietary assistant. And next we have a member of the religious community here and also a participant in the program, Sister Marie Janisch. And next to her is Jane Becker, who is a cook. So, Louisa, you are the spokesperson, and why don't you tell us what happened here at Sacred Heart Villa that's so special?
About a year ago, we were a little discouraged about our weight and things like that, so we kind of put our minds together and came up with the idea that we were going to start changing our lifestyle and the way we eat. Not so much a diet, we didn't want to call it that. We wanted to, eat the things that we like to eat, paying attention to portion control and things like that. So we started, the three of us started and started walking, and then a few months later we started a weight loss challenge here at the villa, and we had participants from the outside as well as sisters and staff members from in the facility participate. And our first challenge, the participants lost almost 200 pounds in a 12-week program.
That's wonderful. What was it that made it all come together, and how did you guys support to get this one weight loss under control, but now you're looking to do another challenge? So people will be stuck trying to get one thing accomplished, but you guys are ready for round two. So what makes it all come together?
What makes it work? Well, the support that we have in our group and that you get from your family, and it might not be right away because some people are reluctant to change.
Sure.
You do have to change something. There is no miracle pill or diet. It's a life change. You have to watch your portions and make sure you're exercising, not skipping breakfast and things like that. And it's just the knowledge that we get from the challenge and from each other in communication, like what works for Jane or Bernice or Sister. We can share that with each other, and it gives the other people ideas.
And you mentioned the issue of this being a lifestyle change.
Yes.
Right.
And so, Bernice, would you share with us a little bit about when you think about how this has changed your lifestyle, how would you say it's changed the way you live?
I haven't given up going out to eat, but I guess the lifestyles, I drink much more water. Soda has been completely knocked out of our family. We don't drink that at all.
One of our sponsors is Pepsi, so I guess we just...
I'm
only
trouble.
kidding. They're not.
There's certain things that you can live without, and after you don't have them a while, you find you don't need them.
Wow, good. And Sister, how has it changed your lifestyle?
Well, when I first came back to the U.S. and these excellent cooks are around here, those desserts were just so tempting.
Calling your name, right?
Absolutely. So I said, no, I've got to do something about this. And just cutting out desserts wasn't enough, but it was the idea of portion control, eating other vegetables, and feeling good about the fact that I've lost it and I've kept it off.
Wow.
It's been very helpful to me.
And last but not least, Jane,
like Bernice said, it gives you more self-esteem, and you want to try different things, and it just makes you feel just better.
Good. As we get ready to wrap up, I want to give you all an opportunity to share any final thoughts or any advice that you want to give people who may be on the fence about doing something about their weight.
Just try it, try different things, and try going for a walk. And people say they don't have time to exercise, and you can sit there and watch TV and do exercise, and just give it a try.
Wow. Very good. Sister, please.
Let it just become part of your life, and you come to the table and you're a little more selective about what you take and the amounts that you take, and you look at the whole thing of weight loss as not as Louisa said, not something that's going to happen very quickly, but you're going to make the effort to continue with it.
Good. Very good. And Bernice, please.
Yeah, I think you have to have an open mind to it, and don't make it hard work. Like, just make it work and support each other, encourage people so that it doesn't become too hard to accomplish.
That's wonderful. And Louisa, please.
Being positive, realizing that it does take an effort, and the first 2 weeks are like really hard, you know, and you can do it. Whether you have family support, your family will support you as time goes on, because they're going to see how strong that you are.
That you're serious.
That you're serious, you know. And if you have a day where, you know, you have a falling out, or you did something, you know what, you don't wait till Monday or Sunday or the first of the month. You just pick it up the next meal.
Louise, I understand that you wanted to share with people, if they wanted to join the challenge, how they could.
Yes, if anyone's interested in joining the challenge, we have several that'll be starting. They can contact me at burkswlc@gmail.com, and I can send them the information.
Wonderful.
Okay, thank you.
Right now we're going to take a break, and when we come back we'll be joined by a staff person and 2 participants from Lehigh Valley Hospital's Weight Management Center. So stay with us and we'll be right back.
Are you ready to experience personal success in all 8 domains of life? Then join Dr. Nat Williams for the Absolutes of Success Weekend Transformation Program at Tucson, Arizona, and achieve your greatest potential. Registration includes a 2-night stay with meals at the beautiful Westward Look Resort. Register today, only $6.99, or register with a friend and pay only $9.99 with shared room. Call 1-800-810-3683 or visit absolutesofsuccess.com.
Thomas, age 16, enjoys a variety of activities including basketball and baseball, running track, and riding his bike. He is a fan of rap music and enjoys writing his own songs. He is a sophomore in high school. His favorite classes are gym, swimming, history, and English because he likes writing poetry. When he grows up, he wants to join the Marines, continue his poetry writing, and start a family of his own. Thomas wants a family that is fun and likes to travel. The family can be a 2-parent or a single, male or female. It would be nice to have a brother his age or a little older. Thomas would also like to have a pet. For adoption information, please access the National Adoption Center's website at adopt.org.
Enrich your life at Sacred Heart Villa, situated atop Mount St. Michael on 40-plus scenic acres. Our caring staff includes missionary sisters and on-site licensed nurses 24/7. We offer medical reminders as well as dispensing medication and transportation to medical appointments. With excellent food, fun events, a spacious hall, safe rooms, and much more, your life will be enriched. Call 610-929-5751 or go to sacredheartvilla-readingpa.org.
It's about changing the world in which we live.
It's about playing, living, and working together.
It's about escaping from special programs.
It's about finding leadership
and social justice.
The Pennsylvania Developmental Disabilities Council believes that disability is a natural part of the human condition.
We are working to create a commonwealth where all people thrive in shared citizenship.
And everybody wins.
Welcome back to the Navigating Your Life show. I'd like to welcome to the studio today, we have 3 guests. First, we have Gerald Rodriguez, who is a licensed social worker from the Lehigh Valley Hospital's Weight Management Center, along with Amelia Fagnani and Kathleen Matson, who are 2 individuals that are involved in their weight management group. So welcome to all of you. So welcome, Jerry.
Thank you.
Welcome, Kathy. And welcome, Amelia. So why don't you tell us, and why don't we start with you first, Jerry, what is this Weight Management Center all about?
Well, the Weight Management Center is a division of Lehigh Valley Hospital, and we have a number of structured weight management and weight loss programs. And we blend 3 disciplines, being the exercise physiology component, the nutrition component, and the behavioral health component. And we have structured 6-month programs.
So just hold in there for a second. Those 3 components. I understand the exercise part, the nutrition part, but you talked about a behavior part.
And the behavioral health component.
So what do you mean by that part?
And so I am a behavioral health specialist, and my job is to help individuals that are enrolled in the program achieve a level of compliance with their nutrition goal plan and their exercise goal plan. Okay, so we have these two ideal black and white nutrition plans and exercise plans, and my job really is to help people navigate success over a continuum of time to achieve their goals.
So it sounds like, Jerry, if I got it right, is that, you know, there is an exercise part, there's a food part, but there's also a mental part.
Mental part, psychological and emotional.
Right.
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so please continue describing any other aspect of your program.
Okay, so really what I spend a lot of time doing with individuals is establishing expectations for success. And we really take a look at working with people 9, 12, 18 months in duration in order for them to have success in navigating lifestyle change. We call it diets. We should probably move away from that term and really focus on lifestyle change. And we do know, based on literature review, that it does take a good 9, 12, 18, sometimes 24 months to navigate behavior change. And so in this area, we're looking at behavior change in regard to nutrition habits and exercise habits.
You know, one of the things that I look at so often is a picture of me when I was 18 and now that I'm 45. I have to recognize this 45-year-old picture took some while to get here.
Absolutely.
And it's going to take some while to try to bring it back to something different. So wonderful. Amelia, you've been in the program for how long, and what has it done for you?
Well, I've been in the program since the beginning of May of last year, and it has given me a lifestyle rather than just a diet. And the accountability part has really been helpful to me because putting down everything I eat and thinking about what I eat before I eat, and just the reasons when I go off there, you know, the behavior part is why on any given day I'm diverting from what I usually eat. So it's been very helpful to not, you know, in the past I've sabotaged my eating habits for some reasons that go back to my past and all. And now when those thoughts come, in Jerry I've had a place to go to him and say to him, you know, this is happening, what do I do? And it's been very helpful.
Good. So Kathleen, what has your journey been like?
It's been a very interesting journey, actually. I joke my life this year has been kind of like a bad country song. I signed up for the program, a week later, lost my job, went through a career change, lost my dog, you know, things like that. But I went back to school full time. But this has really helped me because my mode of functioning to cope would have been to be out of control eating. So, you know, we still fall down, but we get back up and we get back on track.
And what has this really meant to your life? You know, now that you've lost some of the weight that you wanted to lose, what has it meant to your life? And then my next question is going to be, what is your goal? And is there much more you want to still lose? So who wants to go first? Amelia, please.
This helped me now to be healthier and to look forward to my retirement, not getting worse, but being healthier. And I love the exercise part and all. I just have found this is really the real me. And it's really good to have this as a motivation, but also as a lifestyle. And I can look forward now not to getting worse. My cholesterol, all different parts of my life have just improved so much.
That's wonderful. Well, what other pounds do you want to lose? Do you have a goal for yourself, or is it just really getting into a rhythm and a routine?
I would think if I lost another 10, 15 pounds, it'd be fine, but it hasn't been all about pounds. Sometimes in your mind it still is, and we were talking about this coming up because I'm starting, I'm exercising at Curves now, and they measure like your fat pounds, and that really reduced since December, and was like shocking to them even. But I didn't really lose that much pounds on the scale. And I was talking to Jerry about that today, he said that's okay. You know, what I'm losing is what I need to be losing.
Wow. And I think what you're saying is that there are different lenses that you want to use when you're looking at your weight. You know, sometimes it's the poundage, sometimes it's going to be, you know, your fat tissue and other things. And also sometimes it just may be your mindset.
Right.
That you may have lost 1 pound, but you're looking at the world a lot differently
Right.
than you were before. So that's wonderful, Amelia.
That's correct.
Good. So, Kathy.
Yeah, I actually would like to lose probably another 100 pounds.
100 pounds?
Yes,
Wow.
I'm extremely overweight. So, and one of the other things is my exercise. I've really enjoyed doing water aerobics. So I would like to get my water aerobics certification and become an instructor within the next year or two.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. And I hope that we'll have a chance to have you guys back again in the future so you can come back and give us an update, because I think that'll really mean a lot. We're getting ready to wrap up now, and I want to give each one of you a chance to share any thoughts that you have with our viewers that you may not have had a chance to share so far. So why don't we start with you first, Jerry?
I think they both mentioned some important things here, and it's really not always about the amount of pounds you lose. Yes, our culture, our environment is geared towards how much did you lose, but more importantly is can you establish a set of healthier routines with nutrition and activity? And if the focus can remain on the behavioral routines over time, the numbers will take care of themselves. And getting caught up in the numbers can cause pressure, stress, and create triggers to feed and kind of fuel. And so we want to move away from numbers as much as we can, even though we need to monitor for success. Focus on behavioral change over time. That's really key.
And I think, Jerry, what's really important by what you just said is I think the things that we've been concentrating on, if they were going to work and they were going to motivate people, we wouldn't have the obesity and the weight problem we have now. So we have to find some other tools that are going to give us some of those keys to success. So Kathy, anything you want to share as we wrap up?
I just think that a lot of times, especially women, place priority on so many other people in their lives, and sometimes you need to place priority on yourself so that you can be there for those people.
Sure.
Like they say on airplanes, put on your own oxygen mask first.
That's very good. Wow, wonderful. And Amelia, please.
And I think I can, along with Kathy, at one point in joining this program, I had to say, I'm worth it. The expense was justified because, you know, it was something I needed to do for me. And I think that's what people have to understand. Don't even look at the dollar cost or the time cost, but to look at their worth. And I think that's part of what this is all about.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, I want to thank you all for joining, and I want to commend you two on the journey, Kathy and Amelia, that you're on, and I know you'll do well. And I'm really thankful that you were able to share your insight. And Jerry, you know, some of the work that sometimes we do is not always appreciated, and I just want to let you know that it's an outsider. Just hearing what the ladies had to say, you're doing a fabulous job of impressing them about the importance of who they are as people, but also the issue about weight. So I want to thank you for all the work that you do as well. Good. So thank you so much again, Jerry, and thank you so much, Kathy, and thank you so much, Amelia.
You.
Good. Well, we have to stop now for a brief commercial break. When we come back, we're going to take a trip to the kitchen at Cedar Crest College with a registered dietitian to learn more about making healthy food choices. So stay with us, and we'll be right back.
Explore Dr. Nat Williams' Absolutes of Success book series featuring The Navigator of Life, The Mature 64, Living Life 8x8, Management and Leadership by the 3 Ps, The Affordability Factor, The 4 Cs of Change, Embracing Your Real Life, and the Absolutes of Success series workbook, Maximizing Your Greatest Potential to Achieve Your Personal Best. All books available at drnatwilliams.com or amazon.com.
As we all know, the job market is difficult to penetrate. Please look at the short resume on the screen and contact the email address below if this person's skills is of interest to you or your company. Let's help him get back into the saddle. So thank you, Dr. Scandavino, for allowing us to visit with you today at the Allen Center for Nutrition here at Cedar Crest College.
Well, thank you. Welcome. I'm glad you came to the experts to find out about nutritious foods. So for starters, I laid out some foods here for you because I wanted to really stress the point that eating healthily doesn't require a special diet with special secret formulas. It's food that's readily available, it's interesting, it's flavorful, and it's easy. It just takes a little concentration in the beginning and a little tracking to get used to the changes.
And one of the things that you mentioned in our conversation earlier was about that you really want this to be like a way of life rather than a diet. Because diets run into some problems, but I'll let you finish the sentence there.
Yes, absolutely. One of the problems we have with diets is they're formulated to work very quickly, and people are very pleased with the results. After a while, they get tired with the special regimen that they're on, and they resort back to their old eating habits without really changing the way they eat, without changing their lifestyles. With these simple lifestyle changes, which are not easy in the beginning, but eventually you acclimate to, you can then incorporate more healthful foods in your diet, and it becomes a daily way of life that you can enjoy rather than worrying about sticking to the rules in a book. Good. I started with whole grains at the end of the counter there. It's important to recognize how to spot true whole grains in the market. You want to look on the ingredient list and make sure the first word on that ingredient list says whole wheat flour, whole whatever the grain may be. If it's further down on the list, then it doesn't really have a very good source of that grain in it.
Very good.
Next I have in the center of the counter is a great array of fruits and vegetables. The thing that I wanted to stress here is all the different colors. Each of the vegetables provide lots of different nutrients, and the nutrients we find, the phytonutrients, and we call them phytonutrients because they have colors to them, are represented in each of these different vegetables. And many people may have heard of lycopene, which has a reddish and orange color. So here's our lycopene, or some of the other pigments that are represented, and all with a health benefit. The same with fruits, lots of colors. The second grouping I have here are different types of proteins that we need in our diet. And I have lots of different examples here. I have nuts, which are also going to fit into our healthy oils category. Eggs, which if you're watching your cholesterol and saturated fat intake, which we all should do on some level, you may want to limit your whole egg intake, but egg whites, great source of protein. And also virtually fat-free if it's an egg white. Lots of different beans, whether you use a canned bean, that makes it a lot easier to add it to your diet because just drain it, rinse it a few times. Canned vegetables and things like beans tend to be quite high in sodium, and peanut butter, and then tofu, so a soy source of protein.
So you're going to prepare something, so I'll let you begin to put that together. So what are we going to prepare?
Well, very simply, I took a smattering of the vegetables that we had here, a couple different colors, tossed them with just a little oil, a little salt, and put them in a 400-degree oven for about 15 minutes. And I wound up with a tray of roasted vegetables. And what I love about roasted vegetables, and some people find they appreciate, especially the non-vegetable eaters who are not pretty happy about vegetables, there's a lot of them out there. I used to work in the restaurant business, and lots of people say, no vegetables, please. Wow. But the trick is when you grill them or when you roast them, you get that lovely browning that happens, and we call that caramelization, and it makes the vegetable sweet. And people like sweet. We know that. So it sweetens the vegetable, and it's going to taste.
Smells heavenly.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah. And all this was the asparagus. I cut up a couple peppers and the carrots, little olive oil, little salt. The mixed vegetables here, the vegetables on their own, maybe you're talking 40, 50 calories to the serving. The little drizzle of olive oil is going to add about another 40 calories to it. Wow. So figure about 80, 90 calories for the vegetables, and that's a nice big helping though. We're not talking half cups here. That's a good plate full when we plate our food. Sure. And a 3-ounce piece of salmon, which is a little bit smaller than this, if I cut a little piece off of that, that's going to be about 200 calories. So for about 500 calories, you can get, or a little less, you can get a really substantial meal. You see when we put it on the plate, just how nicely that all comes together.
And one of the things that people say is that you shouldn't eat your heavier meal at the end of the day because you don't have a chance to. I see your eyes are rolling, so I'll let you.
Yeah. Oh, my eyes do that a lot. Ask my students. How often does Dr. Scandavino's eyes roll back in her head? Yeah, it's time of day doesn't really matter. The research doesn't really play out that way. What we're seeing is the time you eat your meal isn't as important as what you're eating in the day. If you overeat by 500 calories that day, it's not that you're going to burn it off that day because you're not getting any more activity in. So it's a total balance at the end of the day.
I'll let you begin plating.
Okay, for something light, we're going to do a little bean salad, and we're going to have our whole grain mixture there, and then some of our vegetables.
Sure.
So Diana, if you and Kerry can put the grains and the vegetables on the plate, I'm going to just mix up a very simple dressing that you'd put on something like this. Balsamic vinegar is a great flavoring because it's a little on the sweet side, and you don't need quite so much of it. And then also some olive oil, another source of some of those healthier fats we were talking about earlier. So we're just going to blend that together. I'm going to put a little rosemary in it. We have some fresh rosemary here. So we'll mix that together. And I'm not going to add salt to that because the rosemary is going to perk that up a little bit. And then I'm just going to toss that with our beans. And we're going to add that to our meal there. We have such a colorful plate there. We're just going to top that plate with about a half a cup of the beans just on top. Can't get enough of them vegetables.
And that looks like a very good lunch, as you said, and something that you could prepare probably in your office kitchen without too much. You may have to bring the rice in, but that's very practical.
When I pack lunch for work, that's usually the way. I'll bring a container with some rice or some grain, and a container of a bean salad, lentil salad, different types of legume salads, or even some grilled chicken that's left over from dinner last night, and do the same thing, a little dressing on top, and it makes for a wonderful meal. Change the vegetables, change the seasonings. You can represent lots of different cultures, something Italian, something Asian. Another day, use some ginger and some soy sauce in your dressings. So it's simple, it just takes a little imagination.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so very much for
You're
sharing.
welcome. It was
It's
a
been
pleasure
outstanding.
having you. Come back again.
We will, definitely.
Thank you.
A list of resources related to today's show is available on our website, which is navigatingyourlifeshow.com. On this site, there is a connection to our Facebook and Twitter pages and to our blog. While you are there, you can also email your comments on today's show or share ideas for future shows.